Hi, this is the chapter 2-2 e-commerce infrastructure. Another slide 2-1. We already studied origin of and the key technology concept behind the internet and also current structure of the internet. And then we study how the web works. And then, we're gonna study how internet and web features and service support e-commerce. Also, the impact of mobile application. The insight on business, the Apple Watch, bringing the Internet of Things to your wrist. Class discussion. Are you or anyone you know using the Apple Watch? If not, why not? If so, what apps do you use most? What are the potential benefits of wearable technology? Are there any disadvantages? What effect will features like the Apple Pay button and taptic engine have? Are there any privacy issues raised by wearable technology? Actually, the watch launched with 3,500 apps available and has continued to add more applications focused on fitness, sleep tracking, weather, music and entertainment, travel, productivity tools, finance, and even some simple games. Also, Apple released a new version of watch in September 2019. The Apple Watch Series 5, the most attention-grabbing feature, with the addition of a new health and motion sensor and apps that can deliver an FDA-approved medically accurate electrocardiogram and send alert to emergency personnel when a person fails. Who govern the internet? Organizations that influence the internet and monitor its operation include Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Number, Internet Engineer Task Force, Internet Research Task Force, Internet Engineering Steering Group, Internet Architecture Board, Internet Society, Internet Governance Forum, World Wide Web Consortium, Internet Network Operators Group. Actually, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Name and Numbers, which coordinate the Internet system of unique identifier, IP address, protocol, parameter, registry, and top-level domain system. Also, Internet Engineering Task Force, which is an open international community of network operator, vendor, and researchers concerned with the evolution of the Internet architecture and operation of the Internet. Internet Research Task Force, which focuses on the evolution of the Internet. The Internet Research Task Force has a number of long-term research groups working on various topics such as Internet protocol, application, and technology. Internet Engineering Steering Group, which is responsible for technical management of Internet engineering task force activity and the Internet Standard Process. Internet Architecture Board, which helps define the overall architecture of the Internet and oversees the Internet Engineering Task Force and Internet Research Task Force. The Internet Society, which is a consortium of corporation, government agency, and non-profit organization that monitors Internet policies and practices. Internet Governance Forum, which is a multi-stakeholder open forum for debate on issues related to Internet governance. World Wide Web Consortium, which is a largely academic group that sets HTML, hypertext markup language, and other programming standards for the web. Internet Network Operators Group, which are informal groups that are made up of Internet Service Provider, Internet Exchange Provider, and others that discuss that attempt to influence matters related to Internet operation and regulation. Insight on society, governmental regulation and surveillance of the Internet, class discussion. How is it possible for any government to control or censor the web? Does the Chinese government or the United States government have the right to censor online contents? How should United States companies deal with government that want to censor contents? What would happen to e-commerce if the existing webs split into a different web for each country? In the United States, Congress passed the USA Freedom Act in 2015, which limits the bulk collection of American phone records. The Trump administration has signed a bill that allows the NSA to continue foreign intelligence collection that also gather incidental information on the entire American population. President Trump has also taken a combative stance toward Chinese tech companies ZTE and Huawei. As tensions between world power continue to simmer, governments are like to double down on their control of the content that passes across their online border. The web. Without the web, there would be no e-commerce. The invention of web brought an extraordinary expansion of digital service to millions of amateur computer users, including color text and pages, formatted text, pictures, animation, video, and sound. In 1989 through 1991, web invented. Tim Berners-Lee as son wrote a computer program that allowed formatted page within his own computer to be linked using keyword hypertext. Berners-Lee and his associate at Sun built on this idea and developed the initial version of hypertext markup language, hypertext transfer protocol, a web server, and the browser, the four essential components of the web. Clicking on a keyword in a document would immediately move him to another document. Berners-Lee created the pages using a modified version of powerful text markup language called Standard Generalized Markup Language. (1993) Mosaic web browser with graphical user interface. Information shared on the web remained text-based until 1993, when Mark Anderson and others at the National Center for Supercomputing Application (NCSA) at the University of Illinois created a web browser with a graphical user interface called Mosaic that made it possible to view documents on the web graphically, using colored background images and even primitive animation. Mosaic was a software program that could run on any graphical-based interface such as Macintosh, Windows, or Unix. (1994) Netscape Navigator, first commercial web browser. In 1994, Anderson and Jim Clark founded Netscape, which created the first commercial browser, Netscape Navigator, although Mosaic had been distributed free of charge. Netscape initially charged for its software. In August 1995, Microsoft Corporation released its own free version of browser called Internet Explorer. In the ensuing year, Netscape fell from a 100% market share to less than 5.5% in 2009. The fate of Netscape illustrated an important e-commerce business lesson. Innovators usually are not long-term winners, whereas smart followers often have the asset needed for long-term survival. Much of the Netscape browser code survives today in the Firefox browser produced by the Mozilla Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to Internet openness. Hypertext. Web pages can be accessed through the Internet because the web browser software on your PC can request web pages stored on an Internet host server using the HTTP protocol, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext is a way of formatting pages with embedded links that connect documents to one another and that also link page to another object such as sound, video, or animation file. Links connect document to another and the other objects such as sound, video, or animation file, and then uses hypertext transfer protocol and URLs to locate the source on the web. Together, the address is called the Uniform Resource Locator, or URL. When typed into a browser, a URL tells it exactly where to look for the information. For example, in the following URL: megacop.com content picture 082602.html. So www.megacop.com is domain name. Content/feature is the directory path that identifies where on the domain web server the page is stored. 082602.html is the document name and is format an hypertext markup language page. Markup language, hypertext markup language. Although the most common web page formatting language is hypertext markup language, the concept behind document formatting actually had its root in the 1960s with the development of generalized markup language. So, hypertext markup language is a generalized markup language that is relatively easy to use. Hypertext markup language provide web page designer with a fixed set of markup tags that are used to format a web page. When these tags are inserted into a web page, they are read by the browser and interpreted into page display. All web browsers allow you to view the source hypertext markup language code for a web page with a particular method depending on the web browser being used. For instance, if you are using the Firefox web browser, all you need to do is press the Control key on the keyboard at the same time as pressing the U key. Controls look and feel of web page used in conjunction with cascading style sheet, which tells a web browser how to display the hypertext markup language element on the screen. The most recent version of hypertext markup language is Hypertext Markup Language 5. Hypertext Markup Language 5 has become the de facto web page development standard, providing functionality that in the past was provided by plugins such as Adobe Flash. An extensible markup language, XML. Extensible markup language take web document formatting a giant leap forward. Extensible markup language is a markup language specification developed by World Wide Web Consortium that is similar to hypertext markup language, but has a very different purpose. Whereas the purpose of hypertext markup language is to control the look and feel and display of data on the web page. Extensible markup language is designed to describe data and information. For example, consider the sample extensible markup language document in figure 2.15. The first line in the sample document in the XML declaration, which is always included. Designed to describe data and information. Tags used are defined by user. Web server and web client. Before we talk about web server and web client, there are also RSS. Really simple syndication is an extensible markup language format that allows the user to have digital content, including text, article, blogs, and podcast audio file, automatically sent to their computer over the internet. Web server software enable a computer to deliver web page to client on a network that requests this service by sending an HTTP request. Basic capability, security service, file transfer protocol, search engine, data capture. Aside from responding to requests for web page, all web server provide some additional basic capability, such as security service, file transfer protocol, search engine, and data capture. Web server is also used to refer to the physical computer that runs web server software. May specialized server, database server, ad server, and so on. Ad server that deliver targeted banner ad to mail server that provide email message, and video server that provide video clip. Web client, any computing device attached to the internet that is capable of making hypertext transfer protocol request and displaying hypertext markup language page. Web browser. A web browser is a software program whose primary purpose is to display web page. Browser also have added features such as email and news group, an online discussion group or forum. Google's Chrome, more than 60% of both the desktop and mobile market, and open source. Internet Explorer, 12% of desktop. Less greater than 1% mobile. Mozilla Firefox, less than 1% mobile. Mozilla Firefox, 11% desktop. Less than 1% mobile. Open source, Apple Safari, 4% desktop, 27% mobile. The Internet and Web feature. Features on which foundation of e-commerce are built. Communication tools. The Internet and Web provide a number of communication tools that enable people around the globe to communicate with one another, both on a one-to-one basis as well as a one-to-many basis. Search engine. Downloadable and streaming media. Web 2.0 application and service, virtual reality and augmented reality, and intelligent digital assistant. Search engine identify web page that appear to match keyword, also called query, entered by a user, and then provide a list of the best match. Downloadable and streaming media. When you download a file from the web, the file is transferred from a web server and is stored on your computer for later use. With a low bandwidth connection of the early internet, audio and video files were difficult to download, but with the huge growth in broadband connection, these files are not only commonplace, but today constitute the majority of web traffic. Streaming media is an alternative to download media and enables video, music, and other large bandwidth files to be sent to a user in a variety of ways that enable the user to play the file as they are being delivered. Web 2.0 application and service. Today's bandwidth internet infrastructure has greatly expanded the service available to users. These capabilities have formed the basis for new business model. Web 2.0 application and services are social in nature because they support communication among individuals within groups or social networks. Virtual reality and augmented reality. In 2016, virtual reality and augmented reality technology begin to enter the consumer market and attract significant attention. And since that time, they have continued to gain further traction. Virtual reality involved fully immersing users within a virtual world, typically through the use of a head-mounted display connected to headphones and other devices that enable navigation through the experience and allowing users to feel as if they are actually present within the virtual world. Augmented reality involved overlaying virtual objects over the real world via smartphone, tablet, or head-mounted displays. Among the highest profile uses of augmented reality search far has which uses facial recognition technology and three-dimensional model that allows users to augment their selfie by overlaying animations or other images on top of them, and try before you buy application created for beauty and fashion brands. Intelligent digital assistant, the idea of having a conversation with your computer, having it understand you and be able to carry out tasks according to your direction, has long been a part of science fiction. From the 1968 Hollywood movie 2001 A Space Odyssey to an old Apple promotional video depicting a professor using his personal digital assistant to organize his life, gather data, and place order at restaurants. In 2012, Google released Google Now, its version of an intelligent digital assistant for Android-based smartphone. In 2016, Google supplanted Google Now with Google Assistant, a similar virtual assistant integrated into its Google Home product and Pixel phones. Other intelligent digital assistants include Amazon's Alexa, Samsung S-Voice, LG's VoiceMate, and Microsoft Cortana. Figure 2.17, How Google Works. An image shows how Google works in terms of indexing the web and processing a search query. The steps are as follows. For A, indexing the web. 1. A Google bot, a form of software called crawl the web, going from link to link. 2. Crawl page are analyze links, semantic analysis, and JavaScript or CSS content. 3. New data is added to an index of keyword and the page on which they appear. 4. To deal with the scale of web, Google has already indexed an estimate 30 trillion page. Google break it up into thousands of index shard groups of millions of pages. 5. The index shards are stored on Google server, of which there are approximately 1 million located in data centers around the world. 6. The indexing process runs continuously, processing billions of web pages a day. Pages with frequently updated content and links from other highly ranked sites are crawled more regularly and deeply and given higher rank themselves. The steps are as follows. For B, processing a search query. A user enters a search query on a desktop computer or mobile device. Google will make suggestions as the user type. The search request is sent to one of Google's many servers. The server uses an algorithm to access the index database, find matching page, and compute a score representing how good a match the page is for query. The algorithm has 200 plus variables include page length, the quality and relevance of the contents on the page to the query, the context of the search, and the user's previous search history. Google also applies various penalty and filter to prevent attempt to game the algorithm. Small text, summary, or snippet are generated for each result. Result delivered to the user, then to a page. Downloadable and streaming media. Download growth in broadband connection. Enable large media file download. Streaming technology enable music, video, and other large file to be sent to user in chunks so that the file can play in uninterrupted. Podcast, an audio presentation such as a radio show, audio from a movie, or simply a personal audio presentation stored online as a digital media file. Explosion in online video viewing. Web 2.0 feature and service. Online social network service that support communication among network of friends, peers, colleagues. Blog, personal web page of chronological entries. Enable web page publishing with no knowledge of hypertext markup language. Wikis enables document to be written collectively and collaboratively. Example, Wikipedia. Wiki is a web application that allows users to easily add and edit contents on a web page based on collective intelligence. Virtual reality. Emerging user within virtual world typically uses head-mount display, Oculus Rift 5, PlayStation virtual reality, augmented reality, overlaying virtual object over the real world via mobile device or head-mounted displays. Pokemon Go is a famous one. Insight on technology. Leaping into the future with augmented reality and virtual reality. Class discussion. What are some of the challenges to the widespread adoption of augmented reality and virtual reality? Why are major players such as Facebook, Google, Apple, Amazon, and telecommunication companies so interested in augmented reality and virtual reality applications? Have you used any e-commerce related augmented reality or virtual reality applications? If you have, did you find them to be useful? What did you like about them? What didn't you like? Intelligent digital assistant. Computer search engine using natural language, conversational interface, verbal command, and situational awareness. So intelligent digital assistant can handle requests for appointment, flight, route, even scheduling, and more. Example, Apple Siri, Google Now, Google Assistant. Mobile application. Use of mobile application has exploded. Most popular entertainment media over TV always presents shopping tool. Almost all top 100 brands have an application. So platform, iPhone, iPad based on iOS, Galaxy based on Android, application marketplace, Google Play, Apple's App Store, Amazon's App Store. And then careers in e-commerce. Position e-commerce specialist. We will examine a job posting by a company looking to fill a position that requires an understanding of the basic technology underwriting the internet, the web, and the mobile platform. Qualification and skill. Introducing new application of internet, web, and mobile technology to other department and preparing report for their manager on new opportunity to apply these technology to business opportunity and challenges, collaborating with the product line and marketing department to develop a common understanding of the importance of an integrated online and mobile e-commerce presence, working with franchise retail stores to inform them of new technology initiative that the firm will launch, preparing presentation to franchises and gathering feedback, collaborating with the Information Technology Department to develop more cost-effective e-commerce technology and enterprise platform, including cloud computing infrastructure and software as a service. Developing strategic plan, roadmap, and budget to help guide for firm's e-commerce effort over the next 5 years, and marketing and general internet research. So bachelor degree or background on understanding and experience with e-commerce and basic knowledge of the internet, also demonstrated awareness of how the internet and mobile platform may change in the near future. Basic knowledge of cloud computing, basic knowledge and understanding of interactive media tool and technology. That's all. Thank you for your listening. See you next chapter.